Angelika, Season 3, Episode 7. Hello, Angelika.
Hello, Steven. Hello,
I-
YouTube.
We are on YouTube, our first episode direct to YouTube, and it's good to be here. And to everybody who watches the replay, welcome. To everybody who actually watched us live, if you found us, you're a good one. Right. So welcome to the show. And this is Ask Angelika. And this week's topic is Nuremberg. Angelika, would you like to explain a little about it?
Well, not last week, 2 weeks ago, in the last session, we spoke about Dortmund, and I mentioned that the Dortmund Christmas market had just started the day before. And then I thought, it's December, it's Christmas market time, and Nürnberg has got a nice Christmas market. So I thought, well, go and visit Nürnberg.
And so we are. Right, the format of the show, for those of you who are new to it, is that having chosen the topic, Angelika then puts together several sentences, or in this case 13, in German, which I read out in German, in my version of German, and then Angelika corrects my pronunciation, and then I attempt to translate it. You can translate it as we go along. There'll be a gap so that you can have a go too, and then we'll give you the official translation. So these sentences are about our topic today, which is Nuremberg, and we are going to start with phrase number 1. The phrases are numbered, and the first phrase is as follows. Nürnberg ist die zweite größte Stadt Bayerns.
Yeah, zweitgrößte, not zweite, but otherwise, yeah.
I put an extra E in there.
You did. Well,
Okay.
if it said die zweite Stadt without the größte, then that would have been correct. But so Nürnberg ist die zweitgrößte Stadt Bayerns.
And we've had Bayerns before, and I'm just sort of racking my brain, so I'll come to it. Nürnberg is the second largest city in Bavaria.
Exactly.
I don't know where that came from. Just came from last week, I think. All right. So the official translation is Nürnberg is the second largest city in Bavaria. On to phrase 2. I'm waiting for the ones with numbers in. Ihr Leben über, stop it. Ihr Leben über 1,5 Millionen Menschen.
Well, there's your numbers. Hier leben über 1,5 Million Menschen.
500,000 people live there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I just realized that's the only number I've given you today. Oh,
all right,
wow.
good. We're good. Why not? Why say 1/2 million rather than 500,000?
Don't know. It's just another way of saying it.
Right. Okay. Just
checking. I don't know. I think 500,000 sounds better, possibly. I don't know.
Right. Okay. No worries. Right. Phrase number 3. Sorry, phrase 2 translated. More than 500,000 people live here. And on to phrase 3. Nürnberg wurde im Mittelalter gegründet.
Gegründet. Nürnberg wurde im Mittelalter gegründet.
Okay. Mittelalter is the Middle Ages. And Nuremberg was founded in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Okay. There, word for word. I best own up and say I do type these sentences in or cut and paste them, but I don't actually read them until on the day, because that would be unfair. Right. Phrase 4. Nürnberg ist durch Handel reich geworden.
Ja, Nürnberg ist durch Handel reich geworden.
Nürnberg is well known for Handel. Or through Handel.
No, nothing to do with the musician.
Nein?
Nein. And reich is rich.
In that case, Nuremberg is rich. Right. Would you translate that for me, please?
Well, ist geworden mean became. Yeah. Reich is rich. And Handel is trade.
Ah. So it's not the composer.
No, it's got
No.
nothing to do with the composer. And actually, if I had written about him in German, I would have put an umlaut on his name, because he's actually Händel with an umlaut.
But we call him Handel, which is where my
Yes,
confusion comes from.
I think he anglicized his name when he moved to England. You're probably fed up with explaining the umlaut to people. I don't know.
Could be. Phrase 5. Nürnberg became, translation of phrase 4, Nürnberg became rich through trade. And on to phrase 5. Die berühmte Maler Albrecht Dürer stammt aus Nürnberg.
Ja, nearly. Der berühmte Maler Albrecht Dürer stammt aus Nürnberg.
Maler. Albrecht Dürer was born in Nuremberg, and the berühmte Maler, I have no idea. I give in.
Obviously, berühmt is famous, but obviously not quite so famous if you don't know who he is. He's a painter.
Right, okay.
Very famous.
So
German
Maler
painter.
is artist.
Artist, as in painter, yes.
Berühmte is well known.
Yeah, or famous.
Right. The well-known artist. So there we have it. The well-known artist Albrecht Dürer was born in Nuremberg, or comes from Nuremberg.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going by with some clues. Phrase 6. Heute ist Nürnberg vor allem für seinen Weihnachtsmarkt bekannt.
Heute ist Nürnberg vor allem für seinen Weihnachtsmarkt bekannt.
Today, Nuremberg is known by all for its Christmas market.
Above all.
Above all.
Yeah.
Above all.
And that's why I've chose Nürnberg today, because of its Christmas market.
Yeah, so vor allem is above all.
Mm-hmm.
Before everything. Before.
Literally translated, yes, before everything.
Okay, so on to the translation. And today Nuremberg is known above all for its Christmas market. So we've got that with help. Okay, phrase 7. Heißt Christkindlesmarkt.
Heißt Christkindlesmarkt.
No, here's the thing. That's the actual name of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what we would call it. We wouldn't translate it.
No, in this sentence, I wouldn't, because I'm actually saying it's called.
Yeah.
So, yes.
It's called Christkindlesmarkt.
Yes, that would be a bit silly to translate.
Right. That's it. Yeah, I've got it. Right. And phrase number 8. Here we go. Deep breath. Die Nürnberger Christkindlesmarkt gehört zu den berühmtesten Weihnachtsmärkten weltweit. Over to you.
That was pretty good. It's just the umlauts, really. So, der Nürnberger Christkindlesmarkt gehört zu den berühmtesten Weihnachtsmärkten weltweit.
Right, berühmtesten we've already had as famous when we're talking about Albert.
Well, berühmt is famous.
Famousest.
They are the most famous.
Most famous.
Yeah.
The most famous Christmas. Nuremberg, the Nuremberg Christkindlesmarkt is known worldwide as the best, most famous.
Not
Christmas
quite,
market.
not quite that much credit. Gehört zu means sort of belongs to, or it's one of. It's one of the most famous Christmas markets, so they're not claiming it's the most famous one. It's one of. I think there are a few other ones which are pretty famous.
Is heard to be? Is heard gehört zu?
Gehört zu is belongs to, literally translated.
Right.
But I don't think we would say it belongs to the most famous. We would say it's one of the most famous.
Just to push it. So it's not connected with her, and which is to hear.
No, it's gehören. This is the interesting or the fascinating, I think the word I was looking for, a thing. If you have a prefix in front of a verb, sometimes it stays in the same family, and sometimes it changes the meaning completely. So gehören has got nothing to do with hören.
Right. Okay. I've got that. And Chris Kindle's marked. What would be the direct translation of that? Because we've left it as it is, but it does have a translation.
Yeah, no, well, Christkind, literally, Christkind is actually the Christ child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which when you hear the word Christ child, you think of baby Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look in old drawings or how people thought the Christkind looks like, it very rarely did look like a baby. It always looked more like a sort of an angel with long curly hair.
Right.
And that leads us nicely to the next bit.
Okay, on to phrase 9 then. After translation of that one, the Nürnberg Christmas market is one of the most famous Christmas markets in the world. So on to phrase 9. And phrase 9 is: Der Christkindlesmarkt wird jedes Jahr vom Christkind eröffnet.
Der Christkindlesmarkt wird jedes Jahr vom Christkind eröffnet.
Okay. The Christkindlesmarkt opens every year. Eröffnet is opens, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Opens each year from the birth of Jesus?
No. It is actually opened every year by the Christ child. But we don't have a baby Jesus opening the market. It's actually, if anybody wants to read up on it, people are actually applying for the job. I'm not saying yet what people, because we do that bit in the next few sentences.
Okay.
But people actually apply for it, and I think it goes through the internet first, some voting, and then some judges will vote on the person who will be the Christ child, and they get that job for 2 years. And apart from opening the Christmas market, they also go and just before Christmas and that, go to schools and attend any other, I don't know, fairs or events. So they are going to be quite busy. And the next few sentences tell you who, and not who the person is. I don't even know who the person is. Well, I wouldn't know, but what type of person it is.
Right. Translate that then with the translation. Given the Christkindlesmarkt is opened every year by the Christ child. Okay, which you fully explained. Right.
Yeah, not for real.
Phrase 10. Das Christkind is... I see now. If I read... Yeah, but that would have taken away a surprise, wouldn't it?
It would have, yeah.
Das Christkind ist eine junge Frau mit lockigem, blondem Haar.
Ja, das Christkind ist eine junge Frau mit lockigem, blondem Haar.
Right. The Christ child is a young lady with blonde hair, curly blonde hair.
Yeah. And yeah. So that's one requirement. I think they're usually teenagers. I think the one this year is 17, or maybe that was the one before. Right. I can't remember now. So they are teenagers. It's got to be a girl, and she needs to have curly blonde hair. Lockigam.
I've learned something today, because that was a wild guess. Lockigam. So let's go on to the official translation. The Christkind is a young woman with curly blonde hair. Wow.
And the last bit now was a very long sentence, so I've divided it into 3 bits.
Okay, let's make a start. So the first part is phrase 11. Sie ist in Weiß und Gold gekleidet.
Okay. Sie ist in Weiß und Gold gekleidet.
She is dressed in white and gold.
Yeah.
Okay, let's confirm that translation. Wow. I've not read these, honest. Mit einer hohen goldenen Krone.
Ja, mit
Krone.
einer hohen goldenen Krone.
With a high golden crown.
Ja.
Correct translation.
And the last sentence has an absolutely lovely long word in it.
Oh, right. Okay. Just breathe in. Und Engels Flug gelatigen langen goldenen Ermein.
That's an L. Ärmeln.
Ermeln. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ermeln. Yeah.
So, und Engelsflügelartigen. So we've got three bits really. Engelsflügelartigen langen goldenen Ärmeln.
Right. Engel is angel.
Mm-hmm.
Flug is to fly. So flying angels.
Not quite. Flügel are wings.
Ah. Artigen?
Type.
Oh.
It's actually quite difficult to translate, so I went for angel-like, but
Right.
like angel wings.
And long golden Ermeln, which are?
These sleeves.
Ah, right. Okay, let's get the official translation in. And angel-like long golden sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, so we've done the Christmas market, and we're going to go through now, and we've decided, we had a vote, Angelika had a vote, and decided that Angelika is going to read the German sentences. This makes sense, because if we'd done the other way around, it wouldn't work. Angelika is going to read the German sentence, and then I'm going to read the English translation. I hope I don't mess that up. So let's go back to there and switch that on. And so we're going to come up with the first German phrase.
Nürnberg ist die zweitgrößte Stadt Bayerns.
Nürnberg is the second largest city in Bavaria.
Hier leben über 500.000 Menschen.
More than 500,000 people live here.
Nürnberg wurde im Mittelalter gegründet.
Nürnberg was founded in the Middle Ages.
Nürnberg ist durch Handel reich geworden.
It's nothing to do with handel.
No.
Oh, Nürnberg became rich through trade. Okay, and phrase 5.
Der berühmte Maler Albrecht Dürer stammt aus Nürnberg.
And the famous painter, Albrecht Dürer comes from Nuremberg. I've lost it now. Over to you.
Heute ist Nürnberg vor allem für seinen Weihnachtsmarkt bekannt.
Okay, and the English translation is, today Nuremberg is known above all for its Christmas market, and we'll finish this section off, then we can have a little chat.
Heißt Christkindlesmarkt.
It is called Christkindlesmarkt because it doesn't change, because it's the real thing.
No, if we said it's called Christmas market, that wouldn't make sense, would it?
No.
Der Nürnberger Christkindlesmarkt gehört zu den berühmtesten Weihnachtsmärkten weltweit.
Which translates as, the Nuremberg market is one of the most famous Christmas markets in the entire planet. Sorry, in the world.
Der Christkindlesmarkt wird jedes Jahr vom Christkind eröffnet.
And translation is, the Christkindlesmarkt marked is opened every year by the Christ child.
Das Christkind ist eine junge Frau mit lockigem blondem Haar.
The Christ kind.
Yeah, I've left that was as a German word. That's the Christkind. I should have said Christ child.
That's okay. The Christ child, Christkind, is a young woman with curly blonde hair.
Sie ist in Weiß und Gold gekleidet.
She is dressed in white and gold.
Mit einer hohen goldenen Krone.
This is right, and I'm glad the translation's here. With a high golden crown.
Und engelsflügelartigen langen goldenen Ärmeln.
The final translation, and angel-like long golden sleeves.
Yeah.
So there we are, and we can now say hello to. We've been found. We've been discovered,
Ooh.
Angelika.
Right.
So we best say who we are. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Well, hello. It's nice to meet you. This is obviously meant to be. We do this. Do you want to explain what we're doing, Angelika, to our new friend?
Oh, you mean what we have been doing? We've had this show on Facebook, and we've just moved over to Google now, and it's a fortnightly show where we look at. Well, in this season, we're looking at places in Germany. So today was Nürnberg because they have this most famous Christmas market, and it's very appropriate considering we're in December.
Right. And Angelika picks the topic, writes out sentences in German about the topic, and gives a translation as well. And I'm one of Angelika's students and partner, of course. And my task is to actually read it out in German. Angelika corrects my pronunciation, and then we go on to the translation of the sentence. And the idea is that through using languages and the translation, we can give you an idea of, first of all, the German language. And in this series, as Angelika said, we're talking about different cities in Germany. So if you go to Angelika's YouTube channel, you'll find every single episode. This is season 3, and there have been 3 seasons, and there are lots of episodes. Angelika, before I get too carried away, would you like to close today's show?
Yes, I will. Our next session is on the 20th of December, and for once, I can tell you already where we go. Because Christmas in Germany is not a Christmas market. One of the foods that people love eating at Christmas is marzipan. So we're going to Lübeck.
Good.
And for anything else, I don't know yet. We'll have to find out.
Okay. Tschüss von mir.
You got there first. Und tschüss von mir.
Bis später.